Hi, it's Wednesday, and that means it's time for another video edition of Widower Wednesday. I'm Abel Keogh, author of the book Dating a Widower, and today we are going to give an update on adult children who do not embrace the widower's new relationship, whether it's a girlfriend or a new wife. Again, when I have coaching sessions, the biggest issue I see when it comes to children, 99% of the time, not quite 100, maybe it's 99.8% of the time, it's the adult children that have issues with the relationship. And typically they're adults that are out on their own with families of their own. But for whatever reason, they're still grieving. They're not ready to see dad dating again. There's lots of reasons that they just don't accept the relationship. And the reactions that you get from this is that it could be if they're together, with the widower and his new girlfriend or wife, they're just they're standoffish, they're cold, they're rude. It could be that they're not inviting the widower and his significant other over to their house. I've seen the gamut of where it's even they're withholding. They won't let the widower come see his grandkids because of this relationship. Don't ever do that, by the way. That's a horrible thing. You shouldn't deny your grandkids the chance to see grandpa just because he's with somebody you don't like. Or it could even be that they're worried about. What else have I seen that that the woman he's with is a gold digger and going to take the inheritance? I don't know. There's lots of reasons for that. I'm not going to get into the reasons today, but what I did want to share was a bit of good news, is that I've been doing this coaching long enough that I get updates from clients that I coached years ago. And by the way, there's nothing I like more than getting an update from a client. Even if I haven't talked to them in years, it's like, hey, just wanted to, usually most of the time, by the way, it's these positive updates. Hey, things have worked out. Thanks for your help. But when it comes to adult children, I get a lot of emails where it's like, hey, I want you to know that that my kids have finally come around. And the good news is that most adult children are they eventually come around and accept. Maybe they don't embrace the relationship in the sense that they're all wildly excited about it, but they come around and accept it, and things change. The relationship is somewhat back to normal between the widower and his kids, and they can at least the woman, his new wife or the girlfriend can at least have a cordial relationship. In fact, I get emails that say something like this, hey, my kids are talking to me now. They're coming back over for family dinners. They're inviting the widower and his wife or girlfriend over. I can see my grandkids again. And again, they're not necessarily embracing the relationship, though that does happen. But it's just the fact that the tensions have kind of thawed, and people are kind of back to normal on this. So I wanted to share the good news because I think that's awesome news that these relationships are working out. But I wanted to really discuss the patterns that I see and what these people have been doing, because I know a lot of you are watching this and saying like, "Wow, what did the widower do? What did he say, or what did he do in order for things to change?" Or what did maybe you're a woman dating a widower and it's like, "Oh, hey, what can I do to make this work out?" So here's kind of the patterns. There's about 5 things that I've seen here in these emails over and over again. So if you're having issues with your adult children accepting your relationship, or if you're having, again, issues with the adult children maybe accepting you or accepting the relationship, here's some things to maybe think about. The first thing is that these people, the widower and the woman he's with, they were patient, because usually healing like this, or accepting this relationship, it isn't something that just happens overnight where they wake up one day and say, man, I was an idiot yesterday, I'm going to apologize, and things work out. So they're patient, and they realize that that whatever the grieving that the kids have to do, it's not going to be over overnight. They just kind of they're just patient with their kids to give them the kind of the time that they need, maybe the time and the space that they need to kind of work things out for themselves. The second thing is that they put the new girlfriend or the wife first. So they've set boundaries with their kids, and they let them know, and in a kind but loving way, who's number one. That, hey, I'm dating so and so now, or I'm married to so and so now, and she's the number one person in my life. I still want you in my life. I still, you're an important part of my life. I still love your mom, but I'm letting you know that she's part of my life. And if you invite me over, she's coming with me. She's a package deal. Those kind of boundaries. They kindly but lovingly set boundaries and let the kids know what the boundaries are. And then the third thing they did is they keep those boundaries. So a lot of times you'll see adult children try to test these boundaries. Well, we're having Thanksgiving dinner, and you're not invited if you're going to bring her. So again, testing those boundaries that that were just set. Again, widowers who have seen their kids come around, they they not only set the boundaries, but they keep the boundaries. They don't make excuses. They don't go see their kids behind their wife's back or anything like that, or their girlfriend's back. They don't have these secret meetings with the kids. They don't let the kids emotionally kind of manipulate them. Again, when the kids try to test the boundaries, they come back in a kind and loving way and say, well, I'd love to come for Thanksgiving, but we're a package deal, so unfortunately I can't be there. Please have a good time. Things like that. The fourth thing I've seen in this commonality of the kids coming around is they don't force the relationship on their kids. Again, they're giving their adult children time and space to grieve. Again, the kids are uncomfortable with it. Again, they've set the boundaries. It's fine, but they're not going to necessarily force the relationship on it. Like, hey, I'm married to so and so now, so love it or leave it, kind of thing. It's just like, hey, I understand you're not that you're not accepting yet. I know that you need some time. We're going to give you the time and space that you need. We love you, things like that. And then the fifth thing is that they're letting them know that the lines of communication are open. They try to keep them open as best they can. They let the kids know that they love them and that they're always welcome over at their house if they're willing to be nice and be kind to people and treat the new woman like they would their mom, in the sense that you're gonna at least be polite to her at the very least. So they keep those lines of communication open with their kids where it makes sense. Sometimes you've got to give kids lots of space, and maybe it's best not to communicate with them, but they always let their kids know that they love them and that that things are moving forward, and and they let their kids know they love them. But that the kids know that line of communication is there. And so typically what you see is that slowly the kids start to come around. They know that dad hasn't abandoned them, and that that he's there for them, and they see that he's serious with the boundaries, and that kind of forces the kids, I think, to evaluate why why am I being such a jerk here? It's how I love my dad, and anyway, it just kind of works out. So the whole point of this is don't give up. If your kids aren't accepting of the relationship, you're not alone. And I hate to say it, but it is a common thing for adult children not to accept the relationship. So just be patient, set your boundaries, and enjoy your new life. Don't let your kids control your life, especially your adult children. They're adults, you're adults. We don't have to agree with the decisions that others make. We can still love them, despite maybe the things they say, the things they do. We can still love them, but we shouldn't let them interfere with you living your life and starting a chapter 2. But again, don't give up. The good news is the kids eventually come around. I wish I had permission to share some of these emails, because I would love nothing more than to share these emails with you, and just these wonderful stories of the relationship between the widower and his kids, and coming back to normal, and them again at least accepting the relationship and having a polite being able to be cordial and polite at the very least. Usually it's a lot better than that. Usually they actually get along good with the new wife or girlfriend. But, at the very least, for some of these people, just having a cordial, polite conversation and being able to go over to their house and do things together is like miles ahead of where they were. So don't give up. Be patient. Set boundaries. Keep those lines of communication open, but enjoy your new life. And things tend to work out for the best. And I'd say, I know some of you are thinking, well, how many of these work out? I'd say 80% of the kids eventually come around. And again, it takes time, but there's only so much you can do. You can't control their thoughts, you can't control their actions, but you can control how you react and how you respond to their behavior. So keep that in mind. I am Abel Keogh, author of the book Dating a Widower. Go ahead and leave if you want to share some comments below. I'm happy to share them in future videos. If you have success stories to share, if you have questions, you can go ahead and do that too. Feel free as well to schedule a coaching session. You can do that at my website, www.abelkeogh.com, ABELKEOGH.com. And feel free to like and subscribe, hit that bell so you get notified next time a Widower Wednesday video is posted. And I will see you all next Wednesday.